Hello. Hello, and welcome to an episode about my mental health and the Matrix theory. Now, in order to understand the Matrix theory, one must ask, have you seen the Matrix movie? Now, it's a basic movie. You can all understand it when you watch it. But the theory goes deeper than the movie itself. And it does it in a way really cleverly because it draws a line of what is real and what is not. Now, when I asked this question to myself, I went over to my dog, gave him a little pat on the head, and asked him this simple question: are you real? Of course, to understand this question, to answer this question, we must, of course, now to answer this question, we must ask ourselves, what is real and what is not? Now, you may think it's very simple, like something real is something you can touch or something physical. But, well, it's true in some cases, it really isn't true in others. Like emotions, for example, are they real? You can't touch emotions, but you can still feel them, not physically, but mentally. And some say emotions are real. I believe that's a weird thing, because in this fake reality we're living, one can say something's real, but then there was nothing real. So if we can't answer if something is real or something is not real, then maybe we can answer another question, like, for example, is your mom my bitch? Now that's a simple question, and the answer is no. She's my uncle's bitch. Now getting back to the other thing, okay. And so the question of reality is still in discussion. As you can tell, I am nowhere near finding out the truth as you are. But the simple act of trying can get you a long way. That's why I asked my dog if he was real. And in that moment, he looked straight into my eyes and did what he always does: try and get more pats. Now you might think this is a common behavior for dogs, but this is actually programmed for them to do. Now, as you can see, dogs are not like people. Yes, they have emotions. Yes, they can get sad. Yes, they try to survive. Yes, they can die. But there's still a program. Yeah, that might sound very weird to you. But you must open your mind that the dogs are very simple compared to humans. Now, I'm not saying because it's a program you should eliminate the dogs. But what I'm trying to say is that my deepest research and all I could research about and all I could reach towards the discovery of what is this world had led me to think that animals, like dogs, are not real. Now, of course, in this reality, they are real, but we're actually living inside a program. Now, are we programs? That's something very difficult to try to answer because we don't know how to discover this answer. But we try to. The thing is, we're inside this program. And if we're inside this program, think about it. In this program, you don't need to put dogs like real dogs, transfer them to the program. You can actually just make a code for the dogs to act like that in the program. Now, the behavior of the dogs is very complex, don't get me wrong, but it's still doable. Think about it. If we get 100 years in the future of our program, we'll be able to make programs just as advanced as our world. And sorry I'm taking difficult times to speak, but the government is actually preventing me to tell you all this. Because they've already known this for a couple years. But they decide not to tell it because it would everyone would get crazy, think what's even the point of doing things if we're just in a program? So yeah, everything would get wild. So that's why they hide it. They still don't know how to get out of the program. But they know we're in a program. And that takes me to something important. Now, you might think that the government actually plans all of this and has a bigger understanding of things. And they do. They do sort of. They try to understand it, but they are just as confused as us. That's why they try to find clues. Most of you might think that they investigate this in Area 51, but that's actually just a normal base, kind of like a setup to make people think they're investigating there, where it actually is in a complete different space. Now, when you ask me how I'm doing, I say I'm just fine. But the fact is that this reality, this program we're living in, actually has flaws. But these flaws are like we've lived these flaws from all of our lives, you know? We have lived these flaws since the very beginning of time, like that these flaws for us seem real, like it should be normal for those things to happen when it's actually the opposite. These flaws are actually not supposed to happen or are different from the other programs and other words or other beings that are watching us or that programmed us, because there is a chance that we're all just programs, that we're not even real, that our world is just a big program and none of us are real. We're just programmed to act in this world. Now you might think I'm talking crazy, but I believe in 100 years or less, we're gonna be able to do just that in our world. Do programs just as advanced, and maybe live in them. So yeah, basically, what I'm trying to say is that your dogs are not real. We are maybe not real. Everything is a lie. And yeah, basically the government knows it, hasn't told anybody because they think everyone's gonna riot. And in a way, I guess some people would riot. But most importantly, what we must understand is that there is a way out of this program. Now, before you start acting, okay, you might think that the way out of the program would simply, or to break the program, you might think that the easiest way is just to, kill yourself. But that's before you jump into anything or do anything crazy. I wouldn't recommend this option, as we don't know what would happen to you. Maybe your program would just get deleted. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is that there is a way of breaking the program or get out of the program, be free, but we're not quite sure how, but we're figuring it out. Me and a couple scientists, past military guys and conspirators as I am, we're trying to figure it out, but I believe if we kill ourselves, that's just like wasting men in a war. So yeah, basically this is chapter 1 of our investigation. Just in case anything happens to us, we're gonna record everything. Me personally, I'm gonna make sure to get all of this information out. So, chapter 1 marks the beginning, the explanation. This is the matrix theory.